Hi everyone! In this video, I'll be reviewing some email basics. What is email? Email is short for electronic mail. The E is for electronic. It's a way to send mail over the internet. In the past, before the internet and before email, we sent our mail through the post office. Right? You would put a stamp and write the address. We still do this today, but email is also a popular way to send letters and information. Why is it important to learn about email? Many people communicate with each other this way. You need an email to create an account on most websites, and it can be useful for your work and school and personal life. Now I'm going to show you what happens when you log into your email account. This is a picture of Outlook, and this is my student email account. Depending on the type of email you're using, like Gmail or Yahoo, it might look a little bit different, but it has all the same things. You'll see the inbox, and that's usually what you see when you first open your email. These are the messages you receive. You'll see a folder for sent items. These are the messages you sent. You will see a drafts folder. This is the folder with emails that you're not finished with. You started the email, but you didn't finish and you haven't sent it yet. And then here's your inbox here. You click this to start a new message. Some email providers use the word compose, and that means start or make a new message. You can search your emails here. So maybe you're trying to find an email from your bank. You can type the bank name and click search to sort your emails. And you click here for your account, for your settings. Okay, what happens when you click new message? What do you see? You'll see something like this. At the top, you type the recipient. This is who you want to receive the email. CC stands for carbon copy. You can type an email address for someone you want to get a copy of this email. You want someone else to see this email. Blind carbon copy, you can type the email addresses of people you want to receive the email, but you don't want them to see each other's email addresses. So if I write email addresses here, maybe 10 email addresses, 10 people, they can't see each other's email and they all receive the email. This is really good if you want privacy and you don't want other people to see each other's email addresses. So for example, when I email my students, I email a whole class, I put all the emails here to keep my students' privacy. Here, you write the subject of your email. It's important to keep it short, but that the recipient knows what's the topic of the email. And then you click here to start typing your message. When you finish, you click the send button. It's also up here. Discard is for delete. If you want to send a file or document, you can attach it by clicking here. Now I'm going to show you how to format an email. Like I mentioned before, make sure you put the recipient's address. Make sure you type it correctly, because if you have a mistake, they might not receive it. Type your subject here. Like I said before, it's helpful to keep it short. Like, for example, if you're sending a message to your teacher to let them know you're sick and you couldn't come to class or Zoom or do your homework, maybe you just have a short subject like sick, so that we know what the topic is. You want to begin with a greeting, like Dear Professor Mellows, and then a comma. Then you write your message. It's good to keep it short and get to the point of your email while you're writing it. If you have a question for the recipient, make sure it's clear what the question is. At the end, you want your closing. Sincerely, comma, and your full name. You use your full name if it's a formal email, if it's professional. But if it's not, you're just emailing a family member or a friend, maybe you just use the first name. There's different types of closings, and I'll show you in the next slide other words you can use besides sincerely. But it's important to have some type of closing. In your email, you can also format. You can make the text red, highlight it, underline, bold. You can make the text bigger or smaller. You can make left, center, right. You can make bullet points or number. You can insert an attachment, a picture, an emoji. Email etiquette. So email etiquette refers to how to be polite. And this all depends on who you're sending a message to. For business and professional purposes, it's good to write a formal email. And there's certain rules or common things people follow to sound professional. Informal emails are sent to friends and family, so it's more flexible on what you do. I'm going to talk about the greeting, language, and closing depending on what type of email you send. If you're sending a formal email, your greeting should begin with Dear and the full name or title. For example, Dear Dr. Phillips or Dear George Phillips. The title is Doctor, or maybe it's just the full name and you put a comma. If you're sending an informal email, it's more casual. You can say, hi James, hey James, hello. You don't have to put their full name, maybe just their first name. Now let's talk about language. If you're sending a formal email, you want to have polite language and formal academic language. You want to check that there aren't spelling or grammar mistakes. Write in complete sentences. In an informal email, you can use more informal language. You can use slang or casual language like you're talking to them. Grammar matters less. So if you have a small grammar mistake or spelling, you're just sending it to friends or family, so it might not matter. But it's good to I always like to check my emails no matter who I'm sending it to before I click send. Now the closing. When you close an email, you want to have a closing phrase or word and your full name. Sincerely, best regards, regards, or best, respectfully, thanks again. These are just examples. So you could say sincerely, comma, Vicky Mellows. And the full name usually goes below, underneath. Like here. Sincerely, comma, and then the full name. This is a formal closing. Okay. So it goes on a new line. You put your name on a new line. In an informal email, your closing might just have might be followed by just your first name, like take care, comma, love, comma, bye, see you soon, talk to you later. And then below that, again, you'll put your name. And emails can be formal, informal, or maybe somewhere in the middle, depending on your relationship with the person. So it isn't just black and white or formal, informal. But this is good to know, to keep in mind, just in general, what emails look like and the email etiquette we use depending on who you're sending it to. Let's review. So email is a very common way we communicate in school, work, and personal life. So it's really important to know how to send an email and how to check your email. We talked about the inbox, drafts, sent, search, new messages, and account. These things you will see right when you log into your email. We talked about how to send an email message to CC, BCC, subject, email message, format, attach, and send. And we talked about the differences between formal and informal email. The best way to get better is to practice. So just practice sending emails. Thanks for watching. Bye.